You're sitting at your desk, typing like any other day, but today your right foot feels off. It's numb, cold almost. You shake it, nothing. You try standing, but a wave of tingling climbs up your calf like tiny electric ants. You didn't bump it. You didn't twist anything, so why can't you feel your toes? Maybe it's nothing, you think. 2 days later, it happens again. But this time, both legs. The pins and needles stretch from your soles to your thighs. You catch yourself limping, you hide it. You don't want to seem dramatic. You Google. It says it could be bad circulation, or diabetes, or multiple sclerosis, or a pinched nerve. Then you stop scrolling because now you're scared. What if this numbness is the first whisper of something much, much worse? This is how it starts for so many people, an odd sensation, dismissed, ignored, until it's too late. Until walking feels like dragging, until balance becomes an issue, until the nerve damage is done. If this caught your attention, subscribe to the channel and comment below. Have you ever ignored a symptom like this? Let's keep going. We tend to dismiss numbness or tingling in our legs and feet as something minor. Bad posture, tight shoes, maybe just sleeping in the wrong position. But here's the truth. Your body is warning you. And like any warning, if ignored long enough, the consequences grow louder and more dangerous. The problem: numbness isn't the issue, it's a symptom. It's your body waving a red flag, telling you that something underneath is disrupting your nerves. The hidden cause? In many cases, it's peripheral neuropathy, a condition where the peripheral nerves are damaged. These are the nerves outside your brain and spinal cord. They're responsible for sensations in your arms, legs, hands, and feet. When they're compromised, you start to feel those telltale signs: tingling, burning, numbness, even weakness. And while neuropathy has over 100 different causes, there are some big culprits in the US that account for most cases, and they're closer to home than you think. A practical step to start now: pay attention to the pattern. Is the numbness symmetrical? Does it come with weakness, or is it worse at night? Start keeping a log. This simple habit helps doctors identify if it's metabolic, structural, or even autoimmune. Remember, when it comes to nerve issues, early detection is everything. The earlier you act, the more function you can preserve and sometimes even recover. We'll dive deeper into the top causes next. And one of them? It's silently affecting over 30 million Americans, and most don't even know they have it. Ready? Imagine waking up one day and realizing you can't feel the floor beneath your feet. No pain, no pressure, just numbness. This is the daily reality for millions of Americans with diabetes, and many have no idea it's even happening. Here's the problem. Over time, high blood sugar levels begin to damage the walls of tiny blood vessels that nourish your nerves, especially in your legs and feet. This is called diabetic peripheral neuropathy, and it's the most common cause of chronic numbness and tingling in the United States. The risk? If left unchecked, this nerve damage becomes permanent. It can lead to open sores, infections, and in severe cases, amputations. And here's the kicker. Symptoms often begin before a person even knows they have diabetes. In fact, many people discover they're diabetic only after they experience strange sensations in their feet. Practical solution: get screened. If you're over 35, overweight, or have a family history of diabetes, ask for a fasting glucose test and A1C at your next checkup. Even slightly elevated levels can start causing nerve damage over time. And don't wait until symptoms show up, because once they do, the nerves are already in trouble. Start making small lifestyle changes now. Lower refined carbs, increase fiber, walk daily, and focus on consistent hydration. These steps reduce insulin resistance and protect your nerves long before damage begins. Numbness isn't just discomfort. It can be the quiet voice of diabetes speaking up. Next, we'll look at another hidden cause that's often misdiagnosed, and it's more common in women than men. You feel a burning or tingling in your toes. It creeps upward, maybe even with numbness on the outer side of your foot. But here's what you didn't expect. The problem isn't in your foot at all, it's in your lower back. Sounds strange? It's not. This is the reality of lumbar spinal nerve compression, often caused by a herniated disc, spinal stenosis, or degenerative disc disease, conditions that affect millions of Americans, especially over age 40. What's really going on? Your spinal cord branches out through your lower back into a network of nerves called the sciatic nerve. If a disc slips or the spinal canal narrows, it can put pressure on those nerves. That compression travels downward, causing numbness, tingling, burning, or even weakness in the legs and feet. It's not just aging, it's nerve damage in progress. Who's at risk? Anyone with poor posture, long sitting hours, desk jobs, obesity, or previous back injuries. Women over 50 are particularly at risk due to bone density loss and joint instability after menopause. What can you do? Start with posture and movement. Daily stretching, core strengthening, and walking can relieve pressure on the spine. Consider consulting a physical therapist. Even one session can show you which exercises reduce nerve compression. And if the numbness follows a consistent path down one leg, especially if it's paired with lower back pain, don't wait. A spine specialist can order imaging to confirm what's really going on. Because sometimes what you feel in your foot starts with a whisper from your spine. Coming up next, a vitamin deficiency that mimics multiple sclerosis and is especially common in adults over 60. You're tired, your feet tingle, you feel off balance when you walk, almost like you're drunk, but you haven't had a drink in days. Your doctor tests for MS, even early Parkinson's, but nothing shows up. And then, one blood test changes everything. Vitamin B12, critically low. This single deficiency can cause symptoms so severe they mimic neurological diseases. In the US, up to 20% of adults over age 60 have borderline or low B12 levels, and most don't know it until it starts affecting their nerves. Here's the problem. Vitamin B12 is essential for maintaining the protective sheath, called myelin, that surrounds your nerves. Without it, nerves misfire or stop transmitting signals altogether, causing numbness, tingling, and even muscle weakness or cognitive fog. Who's most at risk? Adults over 50. Our stomachs produce less acid with age, reducing B12 absorption. Vegans and vegetarians, B12 is found almost exclusively in animal products. People taking metformin for diabetes or proton pump inhibitors for acid reflux. Those with GI issues like celiac or Crohn's disease. Simple solution, ask for a B12 blood test. It's quick, cheap, and often overlooked. If levels are low, your doctor may recommend high-dose oral supplements, or in severe cases, B12 injections. Don't assume it's just aging. If you feel numbness, tingling, memory changes, or mood swings, this one vitamin might be at the root. Coming up, a cause that's not in your blood, your spine, or your diet, but in your daily routine, and it's more common than you think. Every day, you sit. Maybe 8, 10, even 12 hours, at your desk, in your car, on the couch. By the end of the day, your legs feel heavy, your feet tingling, maybe even a little numb. You shift positions, stretch a bit, and move on. But what if this daily routine is actually damaging your nerves? The hidden cause, prolonged sitting and poor posture. When you sit for hours, especially with crossed legs or slouched hips, you put constant pressure on nerves in your pelvis, thighs, and lower back. Over time, this can lead to nerve entrapment, particularly of the peroneal or sciatic nerves, causing that classic pins and needles sensation. And here's the thing, it doesn't just affect office workers. Truck drivers, gamers, remote workers, even students. Anyone sitting in a static position too long is at risk. Real-world risk example. Ever notice tingling on the top of your foot or shin after crossing your legs for too long? That's your peroneal nerve being compressed. Repeated pressure can cause lasting numbness or weakness in your foot muscles, a condition that can become permanent without intervention. Practical fix. Use a standing desk or set a timer to stand and move for 5 minutes every 30 minutes. Avoid crossing your legs for long periods. Practice simple chair stretches to release pressure in your hips and lower spine. Use an ergonomic chair that supports your lumbar spine and encourages neutral posture. Your nerves weren't designed for 21st century sitting marathons. They need movement, circulation, and relief. In the next chapter, we'll explore how alcohol, even in moderate amounts, can become a powerful neurotoxin that leaves its mark in your legs and feet. It starts subtly, a slight numbness after a night of drinking, maybe a tingling sensation the morning after. You brush it off. Hangover, dehydration, nothing serious. But over months, it doesn't go away. It gets worse. And suddenly, you're not just tired. You're tripping over your own feet. The often ignored truth, alcohol is a neurotoxin. And with regular use, even at moderate levels, it can start to damage the long nerves in your legs and feet, leading to alcoholic neuropathy. Here's what's happening. Alcohol interferes with the absorption of key nutrients your nerves need to function, especially vitamins B1, thiamine, B6, B12, and folate. Over time, this deficiency causes nerve fibers to degenerate. The result? Numbness, burning pain, muscle cramps, and difficulty walking. And no, this isn't limited to people with alcohol addiction. Studies show that even regular social drinkers who consume 3+ drinks several nights per week may be putting their nerves at risk. Common signs of alcoholic neuropathy: burning or tingling in feet, especially at night, muscle weakness or cramps, numbness or sensitivity to touch, difficulty with coordination or balance. What you can do right now: reduce alcohol intake, especially if you drink more than 7 drinks a week for women, or 14 a week for men. Replenish B vitamins with a high-potency B-complex supplement hydrate consistently. And pair alcohol with nutrient-dense meals to reduce its impact on absorption. And if symptoms persist, speak to your doctor. A nerve conduction study can determine how advanced the damage is and whether it can be reversed. In the next chapter, we'll talk about something many people overlook: how autoimmune diseases can attack your nerves, sometimes long before you ever get diagnosed. You're healthy on paper. Your labs look normal, but you keep feeling that tingling, that burning, that numbness that never fully goes away. You've seen a neurologist, maybe even had an MRI, but still no answers. But what if the problem isn't from the outside, but from inside your own immune system? The culprit: autoimmune neuropathy, a category of conditions where your body's immune system mistakenly attacks your peripheral nerves. Here's how it happens. In diseases like lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, Sjogren's syndrome, and even celiac disease, your immune cells become confused and start to treat healthy nerve tissue as a threat. This leads to chronic inflammation, nerve damage, and the classic symptoms: numbness, tingling, weakness, and sometimes pain. Why is this so often missed? Because these conditions can simmer quietly for years before showing classic signs like joint pain, rashes, or digestive issues. Nerve symptoms might be the first clue, but many doctors don't test for autoimmune markers unless there are other signs. Red flags to watch for: numbness or tingling that comes and goes unpredictably, symptoms that get worse with stress or illness, a family history of autoimmune disorders, additional signs like dry eyes, chronic fatigue, or digestive discomfort. What to do? If you've had unexplained nerve symptoms for more than 6 weeks, and especially if you've seen multiple doctors with no clear answer, ask for an autoimmune workup. Blood tests like ANA, ESR, CRP, and specific antibodies can help point toward a diagnosis. And don't self-diagnose. Partner with a rheumatologist or neurologist who understands how these systems overlap. In the next chapter, we'll talk about a deeply underestimated factor: chronic stress and anxiety, and how your nervous system responds when your mind never gets a break. You feel that tingling again, legs buzzing, feet numb. You tell your doctor, but the tests come back clean. Maybe it's anxiety, they say. You feel dismissed. But what if they're right? Because chronic stress and anxiety don't just affect your thoughts, they physically change how your nerves work. Here's what's happening under the surface. Your body is wired to handle short bursts of stress. But when anxiety becomes chronic, your sympathetic nervous system, your fight-or-flight engine, gets stuck in overdrive. Muscles tighten, blood flow shifts, your nerves stay hypersensitive. Over time, this constant pressure creates real physical symptoms: numbness, tingling, burning sensations, even tremors or twitching. It's not all in your head. It's in your nervous system. One key example: hyperventilation during anxiety causes carbon dioxide levels to drop. This leads to blood vessel constriction, especially in the extremities, reducing oxygen flow to nerves and triggering symptoms. How to break the cycle? Start with daily deep breathing. 4 seconds in, 7 hold, 8 out. It slows down your nervous system. Move your body. Exercise reduces cortisol, boosts circulation, and retrains your nerves to relax. Try mindfulness or meditation for just 10 minutes a day. MRI studies show it changes how the brain processes pain and sensation. Don't rule out therapy. CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, is proven to reduce somatic symptoms tied to anxiety. And if your symptoms started after a major life stressor, loss, trauma, burnout, don't ignore that. Your body remembers what your mind tries to bury. In our final chapter, we'll bring it all together, with a roadmap to help you decode your symptoms, know when to act and how to take control starting today. You've made it this far, and that already says something. You're not ignoring the signs anymore. That strange tingling, that patch of numbness, the foot that falls asleep too easily. These aren't quirks, they're messages, and your body has been trying to talk to you for a while now. Here's the truth: nerve damage doesn't happen overnight. It builds silently, day by day, choice by choice, until one day it becomes part of your daily life. But that also means you have time to act. Let's bring it all together with a simple roadmap. Step 1. Track your symptoms. Keep a daily log. Note where the tingling is, when it happens, how long it lasts, and any patterns. This gives your doctor real data and helps detect progression early. Step 2. Get the right labs. Ask for A1C and fasting glucose, diabetes, vitamin B12, folate, and possibly B1 ANA and inflammation markers for autoimmune clues. Thyroid panel. Hyperthyroidism is another sneaky cause. Step 3. Change what you can control. Cut back on alcohol. Move every 30-60 minutes. Fuel your body with real, nutrient-dense food. Replenish B vitamins if you're at risk of deficiency. Step 4. See the right specialist. Don't settle for just stress if you know something's off. Push for a referral to a neurologist, endocrinologist, or rheumatologist based on your symptoms and test results. Step 5. Address the whole you. Your nervous system is deeply connected to your emotional health. Sleep, stress, trauma, anxiety, they all leave fingerprints on your nerves. Heal both the system and the soul. Here's the bottom line. The numbness in your feet might not be just nothing. It could be the first clue in a much larger story. But now you know how to read it and how to respond. Don't wait for it to get worse. The earlier you listen, the better chance you have to heal, reverse, or at least slow the damage. If this video helped you see your symptoms in a new light, subscribe, share it with someone who needs it, and drop a comment below. What's one change you'll make starting today? Because your nerves are talking, and now you're finally listening. You've learned what causes numbness, tingling, and nerve damage, but now comes the most important part. What can you actually do about it, starting today? Whether your symptoms are mild or persistent, there is a way forward. Nerve tissue can be slow to heal, but with the right strategy, many people reduce or even reverse their symptoms. The key is to take an integrated approach, one that addresses not just the cause, but the entire ecosystem your nerves depend on. Here's a 5-part plan you can follow. 1. Nourish to repair. Rebuild nerves from the inside out. Your nerves rely on a steady supply of micronutrients to regenerate and transmit signals. Deficiencies, even mild ones, can slow healing or trigger damage. Essential nutrients for nerve health. Vitamin B12 supports myelin, nerve insulation, best in methylcobalamin form. B1, thiamine. Crucial for energy and nerve cells. Consider benfotiamine for better absorption. B6 supports neurotransmitters, but beware, too much can cause toxicity. Alpha-lipoic acid, an antioxidant that's shown to improve diabetic neuropathy symptoms. Magnesium supports muscle function and nerve transmission. Daily practice. Take a high-quality B complex. Eat foods like eggs, spinach, wild-caught salmon, nuts, and avocado, and consider supplements if your doctor confirms deficiencies. 2. Move with intention. Circulation is key. Nerves are highly dependent on oxygen and nutrient-rich blood. Without proper movement, circulation drops, and so does your nerve health. What works best? Walking 30 minutes daily. Leg and foot stretches, especially for sciatic nerve relief. Yoga or Tai Chi to reduce tension and improve nerve glide. Foam. Rolling to release fascial restrictions around nerves. Even just 5 to 10 minutes of movement every hour can dramatically improve blood flow to your extremities and reduce compression risks. 3. Sleep like it's medicine. During sleep, your body goes into repair mode, and your nervous system is no exception. Poor sleep increases inflammation, slows tissue repair, and worsens neuropathy symptoms. Simple sleep upgrades. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Avoid screens at least 60 minutes before bed. Keep your room cool, dark, and quiet. Try magnesium glycinate or herbal teas like chamomile to wind down. If you snore or wake up gasping, talk to your doctor about sleep apnea, a hidden but common cause of nerve dysfunction. 4. Calm the storm. Retrain your overactive nerves. Chronic nerve symptoms often leave the nervous system in a wound-up state. Even after the cause is addressed, the nerves may stay hypersensitive. How to retrain them? Progressive desensitization, gentle brushing or tapping the numb area daily. Contrast therapy, alternating warm and cool compresses to stimulate response. Mind-body practices, guided meditations and breathwork reduce nerve overactivation. Over time, you're teaching your brain and nerves that they are safe again, lowering their sensitivity threshold and improving function. 5. Partner with the right practitioners. Healing nerve damage isn't always a solo journey. Getting the right team makes a massive difference. Consider seeing a neurologist for diagnosis and advanced testing, a physical therapist for posture, gait, and muscle support, a registered dietitian if you have diabetes or GI-related absorption issues, a functional medicine doctor if you suspect autoimmune or long-term deficiencies. Be your own advocate. If your current doctor brushes off your concerns, seek a second opinion. You deserve answers and a real path forward. You are not powerless in the face of numbness. Every symptom you feel is your body trying to get your attention. With the right nutrition, movement, sleep, nervous system support, and medical guidance, your nerves can recover. Don't wait for it to get worse. Start small. Start today. And remember, healing doesn't happen in one leap. It happens in a series of small, consistent steps.